GSU was founded 42 years ago with a special commitment to lifelong learning, truly spanning the life cycle. We educate the underserved from infants to senior citizens. Our vision: all U.S. citizens should have affordable access to high-quality educational opportunities for career preparation and, equally important, for informed citizenship in our democracy. According to James Madison, our fourth U.S. president, education is the true foundation of civil liberty. Today, even as we contemplate a promising future represented by our young singers of America the Beautiful, we remember the recent past. This weekend, we commemorate the 10th anniversary of the attacks on civil liberty on September 11th, 2001. I'm sure we all vividly remember where we were on that day. I remember very clearly where I was. I was then the head of the West Campus of Arizona State University. And we decided very intentionally to stay open because we wanted to have a place for students and faculty and staff to have a safe environment for contemplation and open discussion of the horrifying events that had just occurred. We gathered together, and I remember what I said to the faculty and staff and students. What I said was, in years to come, people will ask you, where were you on September 11th, 2001? And we will answer, we were here. We were here on our campus, engaged in education. As H.G. Wells has said, more and more history becomes a race between education and catastrophe. 10 years later, we are here at this university today trying to win that race. Education will prevail over catastrophe only when income does not determine access to higher education. Right now, we have a problem. Let's take a look at students who go directly from high school to community college. Since the Great Recession began in 2008, many more students are starting at our really very fine quality community colleges here in Chicagoland. We have to ensure that those students have a quality pathway to university graduation. Right now, the university graduation rate after 6 years for those who start in the community college from high school is only 10%. And the needle has not moved in 60 years on that number. Now, here's something else to think about. The Economic Policy Institute did a study that divides the population into quartiles by income and by academic achievement. In the top income quartile, students in the lowest achievement level are more likely to achieve a bachelor's degree than the highest achieving students in the lowest income quartile. Now, let me just let that sink in. I'm going to say it again because the inequity ought to just shock us to do things that we are doing together now. In the top income quartile, students in the lowest achievement level are more likely to achieve a bachelor's degree than the highest achieving students in the lowest income quartile. We're losing human capital, and we have a moral imperative to do something about this. In the spirit of the Illinois Public Agenda and of Undersecretary Cantor's policies, the Chicagoland Alliance for Degree Completion addresses the income gap in college completion. We emphasize education for citizenship as well as education for careers. We do so by forging a clear challenging, coherent pathway from high school to community college to a university degree. Now, not every low-income student will opt for the high school to community college to university continuum. And there will be students who will want other options, and they have to be excellent too. But those who do opt for that pathway deserve more than on-paper articulation agreements and well-meaning sentiments. The dual degree program addresses the academic, financial, cultural, and social psychological barriers to moving through two institutions to complete 2 degrees, associate and bachelor's. In the past, even with articulation agreements in place, the message to high school students wishing to begin education in the community college went something like this. Well, even though you're a first-generation college student and navigating bureaucracies is not something that you are expert in, we're going to ask you to work with not one bureaucracy, but 2. The community college and the university. Oh, and by the way, these bureaucracies don't talk very much to each other. And when they do talk to each other, they talk past each other, leaving you in the middle. And when we look at that 10% figure for the students who achieve the bachelor's degree in 6 years, I think that's part of the explanation. The dual degree program, overseen by the Chicagoland Alliance, is determined to change that picture. The unique features of the dual degree program require completion of an associate degree. That's why it's dual degree. Why is it important for community college students to achieve an associate degree? Well, first of all, it's an important milestone, and milestones are important. Secondly, achieving the associate degree represents the completion of a coherent body of study. Students who study full-time in the community colleges can avail themselves of student government, sustainability initiatives, community service, all the wonderful things that our community colleges offer, rather than taking a course here and there, an extra job, and not being able to fully concentrate on what is part of the responsibility when you're in college, which is study toward a degree. Now, nearly all our students work, and we respect that. But we must find ways to create more on-campus jobs. Federal work study helps, and it's a very important program because it helps students to integrate work and college on campus. We have to get the message across, however, that taking a second and third job can create a catch-22 whereby students lose eligibility for federal and state grants and diminish their chances of completing any degree. So this coherent body of study toward the associate degree is important. Third, students who complete an associate degree, and research shows this, are more likely to complete a bachelor's degree and to do it in a shorter period of time. So I'm a convert. And let me say, by the way, that at GSU, we validate all associate degrees, including the AAS Career Technical degree. We have bachelor's degree completion programs for career technical students, so no degree is terminal. Because we value the associate degree, the Governor State University Board of Trustees signed the American Association of Community Colleges, AACC, College Completion Challenge. We were the first university in the nation to do so, and I want to give public thanks to our board who set enlightened policies like this one, and I'd like our board chair, Lorene Samuels, and our entire Board of Trustees to stand and be recognized. Let me tell you about some of the incentives in the dual degree program. First of all, you have guaranteed admission to the university with your associate degree. Now, specific programs may have different requirements of grade point average and so forth, but we would be there advising you to understand that early on. Secondly, if a student completes an associate's degree at one of our partner community colleges in no more than 5 semesters, we will freeze GSU tuition, and that was a board policy, another enlightened policy that the board passed. We will charge the GSU tuition that was in effect when the dual degree program student were freshmen at the community college. So any tuition increase is something they will not have to pay. And third, we will enable Pell-eligible students, the students who are eligible for the federal grants, to compete for scholarships that are coming from an endowment called the GSU Promise that will allow those students, in addition to their Pell grants and their Illinois state grants, to have funds so that they will graduate in 2 years with a bachelor's degree completely debt-free. And in a time when debt is the worst 4-letter word in the vocabulary, this is something that we'll think will be a great motivation. Undersecretary Cantor has fought long and hard to protect Pell Grants. And let me say that they are essential to everything we are discussing today. And I do not hesitate, while I have the podium, to make this nonpartisan appeal to everyone here to protect those federal grants to students. I want to take a moment to thank our Illinois elected officials of both parties for making MAP, the Monetary Assistance Program of Illinois, one of the most generous in the nation. I would like to ask Representatives Lisa Dugan, Mary, you're here now? Representatives Lisa Dugan, Mary Flowers, and Robert Pritchard to please rise and accept our applause. Now, we have to educate students on the availability of these and other benefits and help them understand how they can make use of what our public policies are providing. And so we have collaborative advising in the dual degree program with community college advisors and GSU advisors. We are addressing the academic, social, psychological issues that get in the way of transfer, as well as the economic. And we are looking to help students get that college know-how, which is something that the first-generation student needs help with. They're not going to be able to go to family members and get the whole lay of the land with bureaucracy. So this joint advising is very important. The dual degree program has a student-centered focus. It's an opportunity, not an obligation. We're committed to the students, but the students are not committed to us. The students are free to select the best fit, and we want our advisors to help them to find it. I'd like to especially welcome students, staff, and faculty from our 6 dual degree partner community colleges, Prairie State, Moraine Valley, South Suburban, Kankakee, Joliet, and Triton. Many of our dual degree students work on Fridays, but some took time to attend today. I'd like to ask all our dual degree students with their family, friends, and guests to rise and accept our applause. I'm going to ask you to stay standing because I'd like you to be joined with our colleagues from the community colleges, faculty, administrations, and staff. Please join the dual degree students, and we'd like to give you a very warm GSU welcome. Thank you for being here today. In short, success by dual degrees means unified preparation for students to contribute to the economy with their enhanced skills and to participate as citizens in our democracy. In that way, we will win the race between education and catastrophe. Thank you.